Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Dark, Season 1, Episode 4. It is called Double Lives. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, aside from the Double Lives title, which obviously has its own implications, there was a lot of little things. There was a bit of narration at the start and the end, talking about wormholes, and the beginning is the end, is the beginning is the end, and all that nonsense. Also, there was a school teacher. There was a scene in the classroom in the middle somewhere, and the teacher, whatever book he was talking about, he was talking about how, it's like mirroring, and like both sides get off in the same direction in the opposite ways, and like, things reflecting each other. I was like, okay, right, you got a lot of thematic.
It was interesting
jargon in
because
there.
that conversation with the teacher sounded more alternate timelines, branching timelines, rather than this loop that we have at the moment. Or
Theorized,
seemingly.
yeah, theorized loop. We have no confirmation of any loops
Yes.
happening. That was just us theorizing, which is maybe a sign that they're going to play with what one it is. Like, the characters themselves might get to a point where they're not sure, or maybe there'll be a twist and it'll, we'll think it's a loop, and then it'll be, oh no, it's actually this.
Yeah.
I can see that being the case. But no, so this episode actually focuses on, we're back in present day. For the show, 2019, and we focus on Charlotte, Peter, and their daughters. The daughters, I mean, obviously we met the older daughter, Francesca, in episode 1, but this is the first time we really get introduced to them as a family, where they're all together in the house. We see that the marriage isn't going super well. They're living in separate bedrooms. The little sister, Elisabeth, she is deaf, and so it's funny actually watching this, not speaking German, is that the sign language is just the same as the spoken language for us, where it's just subtitled.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no,
I thought that as well.
yeah, there's no change.
And I am convinced her being deaf is going to be very important.
Yeah, because everything's been about eardrums being burst and stuff. Her being deaf is going to be like the secret weapon.
See, no, that's my concern.
Oh,
My concern is that she's the one they can use. Because
oh,
the eardrums are bursting, so that's why they keep taking people. They're going. It's not succeeding because they're not getting through the process.
I could see that. Although, given the end of the story in this episode, I don't know.
Maybe. No, that's fair. But it was just what I was thinking.
I mean, it could be a simple case of whoever's behind all this has not had that thought yet. But the reason why I say that is because we find out that the person behind all this is well aware of Elizabeth's existence,
Oh yeah.
because they speak to her in this episode off camera. We have, in fact, it's also implied that there's more than one person. We seem to have this new implication that the person in the green hood is not necessarily the mastermind behind everything.
No, he's working for this other person.
Yes, this person named Noah. Because
Another biblical name. I mentioned when I mentioned Jonas.
you're right. Yeah. It makes all that rain in episode 1 or 2 a bit more
It
relevant.
is floods, whales.
Yeah. Animals dropping dead, birds falling from the sky. There's definitely, whether it's actually tied into anything religious or if it's just the idea of the themes being biblical. I would imagine it's more of that, but all cool. So, they all kind of have their own plots to some extent in the family. Obviously, they all kind of merge. But the biggest thing, the most tense thing, is that a little Elizabeth is taken to school, and we see that she's got a boyfriend. As boyfriend as you can have it. What, 8 years old? She said she was.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say this: she's likable quite quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
She has like a little attitude, which is kind of interesting because because typically you show attitude through the dialogue, and
Yes.
she can't do it in the same way. And I'm not sure if the actress herself is actually deaf. Certainly, she at least learned how to do the sign language for the show. If she isn't, but I think it's interesting acting in this way. This different. The idea of like getting across those like little, because she feels quite snarky as a little kid,
Yeah, definitely.
even though she'd never actually said anything out loud. And I think that's quite.
A lot of it's
effective.
down to the interaction with the sister as well. The way they play
Yeah.
off each other feels like, okay, no, I get it.
Yeah, because and I think what's kind of sweet about it with the sister is that, okay, they're being kind of confrontational the entire time. Her sister is like just angry at her because she thought she stole her lipstick, and what I think's really sweet about it is that she's being really mean. She's being like, "Hey, stay away from my stuff, you little brat." But she had to learn sign language so she could do this. So there's kind of a sweetness inherently in it, just because she took the effort to be able to communicate with her sister.
Yeah,
You know, and
definitely.
okay, sure, her parents probably made her do it, but still, whatever. Like,
Still did it, yeah.
yeah. So that's this. It actually led to my biggest laugh. Actually, is when she pulls out the lipstick later on.
Yeah.
I just started laughing. I thought it was really funny. But she's been dropped off at school, or Charlotte's not wanting to go to get the bus or walk for obvious reasons. There's kids going missing and turning up dead. So she's like, okay, I'll be back to pick you up at home time. And however, it's because it's funny. I thought it was playing the old trope where the parent says they're going to be there at a certain time and they're just late because they're too wrapped up in what they're doing. Because you see her waiting outside in the rain, and then it cuts to Charlotte and she's investigating stuff as a police officer. And I'm like, okay, they're just doing the classic thing.
That's what I thought as well. Yeah.
I actually liked that it turned out that the school was finishing earlier than normal, and they just didn't know. I like that touch because it took away the cliche a little bit.
It did. It still had the impact of, oh, you're late. You didn't pick me up, but it made it different. It just changed it up a little bit.
Plus, I like the subtle idea here that the time was wrong. The time wasn't quite right. Just because the whole thing's about time travel and about so just the idea that
there is, and also to give it another layer. The daughter chose not to tell them, like because the teacher said, "Oh no, it was in a homework book." She knew. This wasn't just like a last minute. Oh, okay, go home. There was like no, they knew that it was finishing early today
because one of the teachers was sick or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she makes the trick. She tells her friend or her boyfriend again quotes. His mother says, "Oh, I'll take you home because you're waiting here by yourself." And she's like, "No, my mum will be here any minute." Like she makes the choice. No, I'm going to wait here. And she waits long enough, and then she walks home. And I'm like, okay, this is very tense. And part of me was thinking, I don't see them losing another kid right away.
It seemed easy, especially given the which was cutting concurrently between the conversation that Charlotte was having with Ulrich. Which was, Ulrich was saying, "Oh, if it was your kid, it would be different."
Yeah,
and so it seemed like, okay, this is too easy.
That had just happened in the episode, so yeah, it felt too easy. But then they can't find her, and Peter's looking for her. He's like, "Oh, I've driven up the road, twice. The road should be walking home. I've driven back and forth twice." And she's like, "All right, call the other parents, call people, see if anyone has her, or anyone's taking them home because she was alone or whatever." And for a little bit, you see the effect that it's going to have, where she's breaking down. Peter and Charlotte clearly aren't in a close place, but they kind of the most they embrace is after they think their daughter's been kidnapped or missing. Francesca, she's been out, she's been doing her own thing. We'll talk about that, of course. But she comes home and she sees them just kind of looking sad on the couch, and she immediately kind of worries about the exact right thing. You can just kind of tell on her face. She gets it. She gets what the worry's about. Yeah. And I think it's effective because when Charlotte finds the hat, when she's driving past and she sees the hat over by the woods, and by the way, just the fact earlier on that she stole footage out the wildlife camera.
Yeah.
She took the SD card out of the camera.
Yeah, and she got given shit for it.
Yeah, but by her daughter, no less.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you're stealing that. It's like, no, I'm confiscating. It's like, still stealing.
Yeah. Do you know what I like about sign language, actually? I like that when they get angry, because obviously it's a lot of movements and pointing. I like how aggressive it gets. It's very quickly and
it starts getting jabby, doesn't it?
Yeah, as you feel like you're getting stabbed by words, literally.
Yeah.
But but when she walks back in later, she's because okay, once you see the hat, you're like, oh crap, that's her hat. She probably has been taken.
And again, you mentioned how, I think it was the when Mika went missing, all the rain, and we've got that going on here, that stupidly heavy rain.
Yeah. But then she just casually walks in the house. Elisabeth walks in the house. She's back, and they're like, "Oh, why did it take you so long?" Not being mad at her, just being concerned. Oh, what took so long? And she's like, "I lost my hat." She was looking for her hat, but she reveals that she spoke to someone, and she's like, "Oh, this man Noah. He gave me this. It's a pocket watch. He said it used to belong to you," which of course is very interesting. And sure enough, inside it says, for Charlotte. And you can tell that Charlotte's kind of terrified by this. What?
Terrified and confused.
Oh, confused, sure. Because I'm sure we'll see in the 86 timeline at some point where this watch came from, why it was important to her, what the significance of it.
I'm also wondering as well, we were talking about how, are they just getting memories? Are these being created? Is this one of those that this is an effect of time travel? One of the things in the narration was the future affecting the past. Was this watch one of those things? So when she's seeing it now, she's actually remembering it kind of for the first time because it's kind of only just sort of happening in the past.
Maybe I wouldn't necessarily jump to that with this specifically.
No.
But no, I can see that because obviously she brings up the birds because we saw that she saw the birds as a kid, and she's like, this feels connected to the kids going missing. I don't know how, but I'm okay with her making that jump because it's so specific. Birds falling out of the sky and dying like this is so specific, and the fact that it's happening the same time as the kids going missing again, like, yeah, you have no reason to really like connect them, but it's like
it's a strange occurrence.
Yeah,
so,
it's too weird and specific not to like at least be questioned.
I like how we were both kind of right about what happened to the birds.
Oh yeah, electromagnetics. I told you.
Yeah, I
right.
said, oh no, it's the balance, and they're falling and hitting the ground. So we're both there.
I'm more there though.
I'm just as much there. I got the eardrums. I got the falling and hitting the ground.
I kind of love that we have like the regular coroner like cutting into a bird and saying, "Oh, this is how it died," and I'm like. I mean, she points out she's not a vet, so she has to look up some stuff about the bird to see if, like, you know, what these spots are. Like, she doesn't really understand that, but I like the confidence. Oh, yeah, I'll give it a go. Why not? It's not kind of that different.
It's a bird. We got tons of them.
So we get a bit more of that. We get a bit more of the mystery of the birds, which they do say is something that can be caused by. It was like
radiation. It was something from around Chernobyl, wasn't it?
Yeah, but no. Before they mentioned the radiation, there was something about frequencies. And it's like, well, why isn't it affecting anyone else? No, it's because it's a specific radio frequency that only only certain animals will hear. Like, we won't be able to hear this
Yeah,
noise,
I think that's why it's affecting the birds' eardrums.
Yeah.
I think the spots is the radiation.
The spots is the radiation, you're right.
Yeah.
But obviously they tested the air around the plant and stuff. No, everything's fine. Everything's A-okay as far as safety levels are concerned. So we're not sure. But no, a lot of interesting stuff there.
I'm starting to suspect there is an event in the future from the nuclear plant, and the effects of that are kind of rippling backwards through time.
I can see it. Yeah, maybe. I don't have anything to add to it. But
no, I mean, it's just kind of an idea. Just the way that here, like I say, the air's fine. There's nothing there yet, but we're seeing effects, and obviously we've got time travel going on, so I can link them pretty safely.
So jumping over, so we'll start with Charlotte. Charlotte does a bit more investigating throughout the day, and she actually finds her husband's car in the photo going down that road. And she phones and was like, "Hey, I got a missed call from you the night that Mikkel went missing. Like, can you tell me what that was?" And he's like, I think I was just saying I was going to be late home from work. That was it. Something simple. Although he clearly looks nervous about why she's asking. And of course, this is happening right after he's been scrubbing red dirt out of his car mat.
Yeah, and we saw him crying that night as well.
Yeah, so he clearly knows more than he's letting on. I don't necessarily think he's the culprit per se, but
no, I think that's too easy at this point in the show.
Yeah, but and we actually find out, well, kind of why they're in a bad place. It's because a year ago he was seeing male prostitutes behind her back. And like Charlotte actually goes and questions a prostitute about this, and was he here Friday night? Is that what was going
Monday
on?
Night.
Sorry?
Monday night.
What did I say?
Friday.
I didn't even realise I said a day. I didn't know what day it was. I don't know why I specified. Whatever.
It was definitely Monday. She said Monday a lot.
Yeah. Well, was he here that night? And it's like, no, I've been here in over a year. So like, okay, right, fine. But she's looking into it. She's clearly concerned about that, and she's right to think he's hiding something because we know he is. There's definitely something going on.
And she knows that because she saw the car. Yet he says he was at work all day.
And she kind of pieces together where he might have went, just because this is the thing. So early on in the episode, we get a quick glimpse of theoretically where that room is, where the kids are being kept with the white walls and the chair is and all that. And we see it's in like a sort of cellar outside, like just away from a little cabin. Yeah. And we see, Charlotte goes there in 2019, and we see the name on the door says Doppler. This is either belong to him or belong to someone in his family. This is a family house or residence of some kind. And she actually goes over to the cellar and she goes inside, and it's just abandoned. It's all dirty. It's all empty. I'm like, okay, right, so clearly what we've been seeing in there is probably from 86.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume this feels like unlived in for at least a while.
But it's certainly interesting that we now have this connection. Like, okay, even more than ever, Peter is closer to this than most other characters.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely something to do with his family. I'm wondering which one was his father. His grandfather's the one that founded the plant. Yeah,
and his father worked at the plant. He's got dementia now.
Yeah.
So And obviously his father throughout this episode, he keeps trying to say that he has to stop him. He has to, because he wanders out again. He's like, no, we have to stop him. We have to stop who? And it's obviously after we've heard the name in the other scene. He's like, Noah, we have to stop Noah. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, so potentially the guy who spoke to Elisabeth is the bad guy.
Yeah.
If I was to make a guess with Peter right now as to what he at least did on the night, not necessarily his entire involvement, I think he probably disposed of the body, but I don't necessarily think he's the one who had anything to do with killing him or taking him to wherever he went.
No, I'm wondering if he knew that there was going to be a body coming through that night.
Or maybe he just found him, but either way, I think he...
Maybe, but I mean, I think I need a reason for him to be up at that cabin in the first place. Like I said, it looked very unused for a while. So I think if he has a reason to be up there, like he knew it was coming through and it was like, okay, this has to be done.
Yeah, so I think that's why he's crying the next day, is because he had nothing to do with Mikkel going missing necessarily, but he knows it's connected to this, which he just was sort of in part helping to cover up.
Yeah, I think that's likely.
That'd be my best guess right now. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I'm saying now. So no, you got all that stuff with Pierre, and then Franziska has hidden money out in the woods. She has like a little box.
Quite a lot of it, by the look of it.
And we don't know how she's earning it. We don't know why she has it. But Magnus follows her out there because he has that weird thing where he comes into a class that's not his class. And he just says to the teacher, "No, just go on. You continue your class." And then as soon as she leaves, he follows her back out. And I'm like, yeah, that didn't look suspicious at all. Yeah. But they end up having... They actually confront each other in the girls' locker room, but they end up having sex in there instead. Things get emotional. And I'm like, man, there was other people in the gym, having the class with her. Surely anyone could walk in here at any moment.
I'm assuming they've all left and we didn't see that.
Okay.
Like, she's hanging back for whatever reason.
Okay. I really liked her little, because she gives this. Obviously, we kind of at this point we knew like why our parents were in a bad place, but I actually kind of liked how she put it. She described it as this. Oh, because this happened, because he seems to be into men or whatever. Like every time we have dinner, it's like there's a giant elephant in the room, and it consumes all the food until it's so big that nothing else is left. And I thought that is a really good little metaphor.
It is, isn't it?
Congratulations! That was a good little metaphor.
Yeah, that's too good for a teenager.
Yeah, that was written by a screenwriter. I'm calling it now. But so that was basically her thing. Which, by the way, she's really happy to see her sister, and then notices she's wearing lipstick, and just immediately slaps her in the face. Which
that felt so realistic to me.
Yeah, it felt a bit harsh, but at the same time, I couldn't help but let a little laugh because it was just such a.
I think it's. See, you say it's harsh, but I think it's that moment of the relief and anger of like all hitting at once. So it's kind of that mix of everything.
Yeah. You could almost argue the slap's more about putting me through this worry for nothing than it is about
exactly.
the lipstick itself.
I think that's just as much part of it, at least.
Yeah. I did thought it was interesting how neither of the parents even commented on it. They're just like, we'll just let that.
No, they're like, she is wearing a lipstick.
Well, as she does it, we don't have to do it, so we don't have to get in trouble for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously we focused a lot on this family, which I think was because I think Charlotte probably had the most time amongst these characters before now. We hadn't even really met Elisabeth yet. Maybe we saw her in the background at some point.
Yeah, I don't remember her at all before this.
But it was nice to sort of focus on them, and I almost wonder if this would have played better before the last one. I feel like this family, and to an extent Regina as well, I feel like we're going to have an episode focusing largely on Regina's family coming up.
Yeah.
Because we've not had their focus yet. Hearn's,
so you think maybe do like one for each family before we jump back to the past, and then where it's a bit more fractured, where it's a bit of everyone.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, that would mean that doesn't come till episode 5, which might be completely unfeasible given what might come next episode.
Yeah, and it's quite late as well for them to. That's halfway through the season for them to go. Okay, now we're going to the past. Whereas we did it quite early comparatively.
So I get it, but I think it'd have been easier to follow all the characters last time if we'd been more grounded in all the main families first. But hey,
this was definitely the most focused episode yet as well, though. Because one family, this is it.
Yeah, with a little bit of other things, obviously.
Yeah, but even all the other stuff mostly related to this family.
Mostly. We had Ulrich basically saying, screw this, I'm jumping over the fence at the plant. Which we didn't even see how that ended up until Charlotte got called in to pick him up.
I can see us seeing that from his point of view at some point.
Yeah. But he's like got a bloody eye. He's got blood run down the side of his face, and I like how the the director of the planet's just like he's not been very cooperative. Oh no shit. There's an armed guard standing in front with a giant machine gun, and it's like yeah, he's not been very cooperative.
Yeah.
What a surprise. But yeah, he's breaking down. He goes home, and you see him with Christina?
Katharina.
I was close. You see them together. She's just quiet the whole episode. But at one point during the montage towards the end, she's standing. She's meant to be vacuuming the rug, and she's just standing there still, like just empty.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a lot of
kind of
moving it.
A bit broken, isn't she?
Yeah, a little bit of Jonas. Some interesting stuff there. His mother's trying to like reach out to him. She's like, "Hey, you could take a day off school, and we could do something." And he kind of like fobs her off. Now we actually find out it's because he's not going to school. It's because he's taking that map. He's
going to the caves.
He's going to the caves, which ultimately doesn't amount to much from his point of view. Like it just kind of like ends with him not finding it. So that's a dead end. Yeah. He finds a little bit of red rope on a bike that he sort of looks at as if it's maybe suspicious, but that's pretty much it. The interesting part for us, though, is that the stranger is watching this.
Yeah.
And he's sort of hiding over behind a tree, and when he sees that Jonas has been here when he was expecting it, well, I'm assuming when he expected it, it's the slightest of little smiles that he gives off. It's like he's, okay.
This is going to plan.
Yeah. It's just a little smile. It's not a big smile, it's just a little smirk. But it's like, okay, he's happy what he's seeing. And at the end of the episode, he sneaks into Jonas's bedroom while he's sleeping, which is a little bit creepy, sure. But he actually pulls out the map and writes something else on it. And it's almost like he wants Jonas to notice this and just think it was always there. Like, oh, there's another little hint over here that'll lead to whatever he's looking for, whatever he wants him to find. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So, no, so that was pretty much this episode.
Yeah. I just want to say, we keep saying how Ulrich looks like Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh yeah.
Never more so than when he sat in the car all bloodied. I don't know what it is about that, but like it's the most he's ever looked like him.
He just doesn't Mads Mikkelsen. We can't get around it anymore.
No, we can't. But it was really bothering me in that scene. Most of the time, I'm kind of over it now, but that one was like I just can't not see it.
Yeah. Worth just discussing, do we have any theories about Noah, who this mysterious Noah is?
I don't think it's someone we've seen yet.
I think that's fair, but if he's manipulating all these events, if he's behind all this, why is he doing it? Why is he...
That is a fair question. I wonder if it's meant to be a noble goal. I speculate how maybe there was something at the nuclear plant in the future. I wonder if he's trying to prevent that somehow.
That would... I mean, obviously he's still killing kids, so he's not that great. But yeah, that would veer him towards sympathetic.
It would make him more interesting, definitely.
He's got a more noble goal. Why is it? I don't know. Is it more vengeful, whatever he's doing? Is it because of something that happened to him or someone he cared about? Or is it... Or he's trying to save one specific person? But again, he's still vicious because he's going through a lot of kids to achieve it.
He is. And I really don't know what his motivations are yet, because just don't know any. All we know right now is he's taking kids.
Yeah. And unless Peter's father, Heidel, unless he...
Helga,
there you go. Unless he is incorrect in thinking he should be stopped, because he could be wrong. He may have the wrong guy as being the bad guy. My guess right now would be Stranger good guy, Noah bad guy.
But then why does the stranger say he's working for Noah?
Did he say that?
Yeah, that's him at the end, isn't it? When he takes the other kid.
Oh no, that's not a stranger.
Is that not a stranger? I'm mixing them up.
That's just the guy in the green hood. That's the...
Oh right, okay.
That's the whoever's putting him in the chair.
That's the guy with the machine. Yeah,
yeah. That's not a stranger.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Well, we should mention, the kid who gets taken at the end. That's the boyfriend, Elisabeth's little boyfriend.
Which I don't think until that scene I'd clocked that he was deaf as well.
Oh, I got that.
Okay, see, I hadn't. I just thought I thought a bunch of the people in the school had learnt sign language.
Well, because when I saw that, I thought maybe they specifically either have a school for people with disabilities like that, or they just kind of like they all know each other more better because they obviously would naturally group together out of the kids.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, but no, yeah. So I mean, maybe that lends credence to the fact that whoever's doing this is going to try it on a deaf person and see how that works.
Yeah, maybe.
So
The interesting question there, though, is why did they let Elisabeth go? If it was, if you know, okay, so if they go, oh, we want a deaf child, and they take this kid instead, why did they change their mind? Because they had Elisabeth already. She was there.
that would imply to me that whoever's behind this cares about Elisabeth and doesn't want anything to happen to her specifically, which maybe means it's someone in this family from the future or the past.
It could be some sort of family connection with plenty, you know, because they seem to know Charlotte quite well with the watch.
Yeah.
So I can see it.
That'd be my guess. Hell, if I was to go really nuts, I'd say it's someone who is a descendant of her, so they can't take her because that would erase themselves from the timeline.
Okay, so they're almost like safe.
Yeah. That'd be my guess. Yeah, maybe the Dopplers are all safe because if any of them get wiped out, it would affect who this person is from the future.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Assuming they're from the future. I mean, that's just a wild guess, but... But hey. Alright, there you go. That's episode 4 of Dark. Obviously, we have 6 left. We'll be back with the next one, I think, Sundays when we've got that scheduled. So, yeah, we'll try to hit one every other day. That's basically the target right now. So, come back for that. Let us know what you think of this episode in the comments below. We had some fun comments about the Raider bars, aka the Twix. It is indeed a Twix. Basically, it was a Raider for X amount of time in Germany, and then they changed it to Twix to match everywhere else, and the Germans didn't like it very much. So, Germans over a certain age...
So this was supposed to be like a nostalgic thing on, hey, remember this?
Yeah.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
This is what we were doing in Stranger Things a lot.
Yeah, kinda actually, yeah. But that amuses me. That's a nice little bit of trivia that I didn't think I'd ever learn, but I'm happy to hear it. So there you go. That is Dark Episode 4. So let us know what you thought. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on Twitters at mild_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mildfuzztv. You can do that over there. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?